The faculty model of teaching needs to evolve in a variety of ways in the next 5 to 10 years. Faculty cannot be expected to be educational experts just because an MD or a PhD has been conferred upon them. There needs to be a lot of faculty development in that area. Faculty need to be incentivized to teach within their areas of patient care and to teach within their areas of research. So we really go back to the apprenticeship model. That's really going to improve the relationship culture of academic medicine, which doesn't exist to a great extent at this point and is a huge dissatisfier, and I think is a retention issue for faculty. So I think if we could work on going back to that model, I think that would without a doubt benefit students, could be a retention tool, and in the end, the most important thing, benefit patients. Some of those incentives might include offering faculty development certificates, so there could be series of faculty development educational offerings, and when faculty complete those, there is some type of certificate associated with that that allows them to teach at a different level. We have to incentivize teaching in some tangible way because teaching has to be valued at an equal level with clinical care and research. Learning communities have existed for a long time in education, back to the Middle Ages, really. And if you think of the Hogwarts model, it's very similar, and has existed at institutions of higher learning in this country for many years, but are a relatively new phenomenon widely used in medical education in the United States. Some schools have been doing this for 20 or more years and have really been the founders of this kind of educational model. What we're looking at these days is that undergraduate medical education has changed dramatically. That's an understatement. That being said, one of the biggest changes is the size of student body and the diversity, which is wonderful and problematic at the same time. I think that what students are up against is having difficulty navigating medical school. They really desire more informal contact with faculty. They really need someone to give them a roadmap. So the concept in learning communities is to divide these larger medical school classes into smaller groups, and even those can be divided into smaller groups with longitudinal mentoring across the entire spectrum of medical education. And has been really mutually beneficial for faculty and for students, and has really improved the quality of the learning environment. And I think it speaks widely that we are seeing learning communities across the country at new schools, at well-established schools, and the number of learning communities has increased exponentially. So what constitutes a learning community in medical education can be a variety of things. There are curricular models, there are wellness models, there are advising models, and there are hybrid models. And I think what most of medical schools are learning is everyone's moving towards some kind of hybrid model. Small groups, maybe as few as 6 to 8 students with 1 or 2 mentors where they often learn their clinical skills across the continuum of medical school. Some of those groups become a broader group that may have an advising component. And there are certainly Hogwarts-like activities, field days, community service, all kinds of competitions, that kind of thing. So it has a social component as well. The Learning Communities Institute is an organization that has recently incorporated but has existed for several years and is made up of some of the medical schools that have been some of the founders in learning communities in medical education. We have a variety of members from across the country, schools of all sizes, schools of all different missions, and learning communities that may be curricular, may be advising based, may be wellness based. But we exist in order to share ideas, to pursue research, and to assist other medical schools who would like to establish similar models. We have too many members, believe it or not, to discuss in a short interview, but we have members really from, I believe, 17 schools that were the founders, and we have over 50, we had members of 50 different medical schools attending our last annual meeting.